Hi, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. This is Savannah Madamombe. Welcome to the Savafe Show. And this week we are in Zimbabwe. Okay. Now, I am excited because the subject I'm about to talk about, the things that we're about to talk about, all of us should pay attention because it's something that protects us, protects the world. It's about the environment. The person I'm going to bring to you after we go out a little bit and listen to a message from our sponsor, I is and a chairman of the Mkhovizi Woodlands Trust. Now, let's listen to a message from our sponsors, and then we'll come back with our guest. Welcome back to the show, and help me welcome Pastor Ken Perry Chen from the Woodlands. Said it's not a trust, right?
It's an
It's
association,
a
yes.
oh, okay, sorry,
Yeah.
Mkhovizi Woodlands Association. Now, I really want to go into this. Just the fact that it's not a trust, um, an association. I want to understand that. But before we do, I want to talk about um, story, your history. When were you born?
I was actually born, straight enough, I was born in 1958-ish. So it was during the Federation, would you believe? So I was born in Federation of the Southern and Northern and
Mm,
Nyasaland area. So
yeah.
I've been through many country name changes in my life.
That is interesting. You have been
Mm.
Nyasaland, you have been in Rhodesia, you've been in Zimbabwe now.
Zimbabwe, Rhodesia, then
Oh,
Rhodesia, Zimbabwe, Rhodesia, then Zimbabwe eventually.
oh
What a
my God.
ride.
Yeah, what a ride. What a ride. Now,
Uh,
uh, your family, um, were they originally from Zimbabwe or in Zimbabwe, or when did they settle in Zimbabwe?
well, yeah, my family came through. My father originally came through with my grandfather
Yeah.
from China. Um, and my mother was born in Beira, in Mozambique, and she came
Oh,
here when she was 9. And so, but I was born here, so I'm Zimbabwean,
so,
basically second generation.
yes, yes.
Yes.
Now, I want to talk about Mukuvisi. Yeah, it's our home. It's some hidden gem somewhere. Not a lot of people know about the Mukuvisi woodlands.
Not at all, eh?
Why?
It's yeah, we call it uh, basically. It's strange. It's been there. It's people pass it a lot on Glenara Avenue.
Yeah.
The Mukwizi Woodland Association really is we're basically a non-profit association.
Yeah.
We were registered as a welfare organization, um, and we have a lease. We lease 277 hectares, so it's quite a big area,
Hmm.
adjoining Glenara Avenue and Chiremba Road in Harare. So uh, it's since 1980, it has been leased from the city of Harare. So basically, it's uh, uh, we say it's a touch of a wild in the heart of the city.
Yeah.
We're very much there. We've got
Yeah.
animals, we've got the whole lot. And it's a real preserve. It's an area in Harare that you know. Let me just go through it. Let me give you the prime objectives of what we are all about and what it's supposed to be. So Mukabisi really is to conserve and protect all the natural resources of the Mukabisi woodlands. There's all the natural resources. Uh, in our conservation drive is to promote an appreciation and understanding of these resources by providing education and
Yeah.
research opportunities, and to promote an appreciation of nature by providing recreational opportunities for the citizens of Harare and Zimbabwe to enjoy the natural resources without detriment to them. So it's very much conservation minded to
Mm.
restore, or not to restore, to maintain the natural uh, parts of Bukovizi. That's how Harare was before the development.
Okay. So, what I can imagine some of the issues that you end up having now because of
Mm, mm.
where you are located, right in the center of the city.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
It,
Especially with the electricity not being available.
yes, very much of a challenge. And of late, when electricity is available, we've had three increase of 50% the last 3 months, and we due to get more increases. So it's become a cost. So as a result, in part of our mandate, in a way, we are going to be looking for donors to bring in more solar pumping for our water supplies. Uh, we've got a whole lot of problems. We look at the whole biodiversity of Mukavezi area. Uh, we, if you recall, the Cleveland Dam, which was one of our main sources of water for Harare before the Chivero dams were built, that's gone dry. That's totally dry. So we don't get any water coming through the Mukavezi at the moment. So we're waiting for the welcome rains, probably in the next couple of weeks. And
Yeah.
so
Uh, the rain's coming right now.
we had some rain 2 days ago, 2 nights ago, and a good downpour, but not enough to get the rivers going yet. So hopefully by mid-November we should have our rains coming through.
Okay. Now, in terms of some of the problems and issues that you have, besides the fact that because of the fact that there's no electricity, do you have a lot of people trying to come in and cut the trees down?
That is the major problem we have at the moment. Our staff, we've had influx of people coming through. Um, we don't have a problem per se with poaching. Let's use that word, of our animals, our
Yeah.
wildlife. There we've got varieties of wildlife. We have a problem with people poaching wood, and it's a um, it's a problem. It is a
Yeah.
problem. For 5 pieces of wood, you're paying $1. So
Oh,
in Braeside or Chiremba Road, so and we have got 277 hectares, mainly of woodlands that we're trying to preserve.
okay. So they come in mostly at night or during the day?
Mainly at night. We've had problems, of course, once again with no ZESA. Our electric fence doesn't work so well, and we've had to get a solar panel on that fence. But there's still the desperation is there, because not only is that we don't have electricity, or electricity is going up, We have
Yeah.
our gas charges, which is the other alternative energy source. So we have all these pressures upon the people, and they need to cook. They need to warm
Yeah.
themselves up in the winter, and we have got
Yeah.
this um, constant battle. You know, the desperation of people trying to make ends meet. So we had a $20, 20 US, I mean 20 RTGS, our Zimbabwe dollar, fine at one stage. 1st of May, it went up to 14,500, but it still hasn't deterred people from coming in. And these are some of the issues that we have to battle with, you know, and it's, as I said, it's a real problem. I can see the social side of it, economical side of it, and people are desperate to keep themselves going, and and we need to maintain the forest, the woodlands.
Yeah. So besides being active with the Mkubisi, which we'll come back again and talk about, you are very active in environmental conservation in Zimbabwe as a whole.
Basically, yes, with the Mukabisi as well. I've been fortunate to have a seat on the National Biodiversity Forum. So we sit and talk about a wide range of aspects of our environment in Zimbabwe, from invasive trees uh, to um, to all sorts of things that affect our environment, and climate change mitigation, which is an important thing for us to look at. We are losing a lot of trees in Zimbabwe. Once again, further afield, there's trees being cut all over the place, not only for firewood and building or whatever it's traditionally been used for. Suddenly now we are getting Zimbabweans trying to produce charcoal from our hardwood trees, trees that have been there for hundreds of years, suddenly cut down.
Yeah, let's talk about that charcoal issue. A lot of people don't understand the difference because when see people see, they think it's coal, right? Kind of looks like
Yes,
coal,
yes, that's
and
right.
the difference between coal and charcoal and why it is charcoal is really a menace when it comes to environment.
I think mainly with the charcoal is the situation where the coal is being taken from underground, something that's been over the years, over the many years, compressed into the form it finds itself in. But with charcoal, the difference is that we're taking something that's a living tree, something that's producing. It's a carbon sink. It's taking in carbon and it's giving us oxygen that we need. I think all the stats say it takes about 4 trees for us, for each human being to survive. It takes 4 trees to provide us the oxygen. And suddenly we're cutting down these trees now to make a fuel source. So as a result of that, from my experience in timber from many years ago, from the 80s when I first went
Mm-hmm.
to Newcland, uh, we are now pushing growing trees, not exotic trees that take up water or are detrimental to our environment, but let's start planting indigenous trees, fruit trees like avocados and mangoes that are a very good nutritional source. Um, so that's what we're spearheading at the moment with Harari for trees and Zip trees. A lot of other people, there's a lot of other individuals that are doing tree planting in different areas in
Mm-hmm.
Urungwe, down by Katerere, Hundi Valley area, Maranki area. Individuals who are going out and trying to teach this to the schools. So
Yeah.
Mukavizi has an educational center, eco school side, and we are promoting, we're pushing that. Since I've come in, I used to be involved a bit in education. Some years ago, I was the CEO of um, private school in Matari, one of our ATS schools. And so um, uh, I'd like to spearhead and see the eco school program more beneficial in educating our children on trees and
Mm.
how to plant trees and how to grow trees, importance of trees. and all that goes around the tree, you know. And yeah, it's going to be tree planting is happening all over the world, and in Zimbabwe with the current situation, it's something that we need to. I believe now we have to counteract it. You know, I'm over 60 now, so my tree planting that I'm doing now and last year and any time I do now, it's going to benefit 25 years from now. It's going to be my grandchildren, their children maybe. So,
Wow.
but if we don't do it, who's going to do it?
Nobody. So let me say this. You said there is a school at the Mukuvisi, but you know, for me, it's actually my first time to hear of it, and I don't think they are allowed.
Sorry, it's not actually a school. We have an eco schools program.
Oh, it's a
we do have an educational block there. So during the school term, we have schools coming into Mukuvisi from surrounding areas, and they come through there. And we take them on tours. We explain to them about the importance of wildlife, trees, water, the grasses, and how we interact, and the whole thing that encompasses what we all about as a conservation area, as a nature reserve and educational center.
Yeah.
So,
and clearly people don't understand the association of, or do they, according to what you find out, do they really understand the relation between trees and the rains that we are crying about?
Not often, but I think we trying to get that education across to with Eco Schools program. You know, it also encompasses things like waste management as well.
Yeah.
We do a lot of when the children come in, the first thing they're shown are the bins and where to put things, you know, plastic bottles, papers, and all that sort of thing. So we start from there, and we do the education about how important the tree is. As I said, it soaks in the carbon dioxide that we exhale, and then it produces oxygen for us to continue to breathe freely. And things like that. And it supports bird life, reptile life, insect life, supports the water system, holds the soil together, stops erosion. So those are the things that we try and get across. And that is the mandate that we have to be an educational center, environmental center, let people start to understand how we interact with nature.
Yeah.
And how it affects climate.
So the Mukuvisi Trust, is it just focusing on Harare?
No, it initially it had started just to work in the Mukuvisi area, but we are now branching out through the Eco Schools program. We have a lot of schools in different provinces that relate to us. So yes, us as Mukuvisi. So lots of schools. We get a lot of schools from Midlands, from the rural areas, from Blair, Mutare, from all the centers, from the Midlands. So we're working with them, and we're trying to partner up at the moment with various other tobacco firms, one communications firm that we are going to be working with next year. We actually have a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Education that Mukuvisi is the point, or it's the center of environmental education. So we have that relationship with Minister of Education, and we work with them closely, and the Minister of Environment, of course.
Yes. Okay. So before we go to the next topic, I think we need to take a break. We're going to take a break and listen to a message from our sponsor. And then when we come back, let's talk about how, even though you're responsible for Mukuvisi, but you are right in the middle of Harare, and Harare affects Mukuvisi. Let's talk about that relationship when we come back. Welcome back. Now, really talk about Nkurubusi Preserve itself, the nucleus Nkurubusi, when surrounded by the enormous Harare and its problems. And the problems include overpopulation, the water issue, uh, plastic. Plastic is a menace in Harare, and
Mm.
many other things. How can Mukubisi live in isolation? Or do you guys need to work in a greater sense, as in encompassing the rest of Harare?
I think one of the aspects that we and one of the real a great help for us is that we've got 7.5 kilometers of fencing that surround our 265 hectares, which was um, donated to us by embassy 20 years ago. It's actually our 40th anniversary this year, from 1980, and we battle with the aging fence line, and that's why we having problems with the wood poachers coming in, but always cutting in or things like that. Yeah, so that's a great thing. We talk about pollution. We have an incredible problem with pollution. Not only the river is polluted from
Yes,
the chemical factories
yes,
above us and the
yes,
waste that comes through. I think I spoke about the wetlands
yes,
earlier this year on the 2nd of
yes,
February, and we have a problem in the wetlands, and probably the worst problem with the wetlands, apart from the normal problem, is that we've got all the garbage, we've got all the people dumping things on in the wetlands all over
yes,
Harare. It's a mess, and when
yes,
it rains, all that comes down the river streams. So you can imagine Mukovizi being the river sources from all over above us. Uh, all those water streams come through, and just we have all this litter going through, apart from plastics.
yeah.
And it is a problem. It is a problem. We have these difficulties where uh, uh, infrastructure, as far as collection of litter, is a problem. We have um, um, we recently, I can't remember how many bags, but we just went around our perimeters picking up all the things from diapers and all the other litter that's been dumped on our borders,
Wow.
from from our nice neighbors in Chiremba Road area and all over. They just been dumping stuff there. We cleared it, and no longer. I mean, it was a week after we cleared it. It just looked like it was. They took it as an excuse. That, oh, look, Mukovizi have cleared the area. We can dump more.
More, because now
And
they can
we've got the same mess outside our boundaries. So it blows into the woodlands. The animals get affected. So it's a battle. It's a battle. It's something that
but do
we
you,
really need to
when
work on.
you when you clear these woodlands, do you involve the citizens? Do you involve them so that they can understand, they can see what's
We
the problem?
tried to, but there's no great buy-in from them at this stage. Unfortunately, the sentiments are not as conservation minded as we do. It's once again educational. At one stage, we had some buy-in from citizens there. They would let us know on their roads where the woodcutters were coming in from. But these days, they don't seem to say much, and it is a problem. It's a problem. Um,
Yeah.
Let me hasten.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
carry on. I was just saying, let me hasten to say, as I said, the fine went up from 20 to 14,500. But the law enforcement agency that's across the railway line from us, they haven't been told by Forest Commission or from Emma or from Ministry of Environment. They haven't got the communique to say the new fine is 14,500 per se instead of 20. So they're not going to fine anyone that we catch taking wood. And legally, it's actually wood poaching that they are involved in. And so we stuck. There's no incentive or there's no prohibitive measures if they get caught, because as I said before, you get caught, you pay your 20 RTGS fine, which is a few cents, and you sell 5 pieces of your firewood that you take out for $1. So it's we have that battle. Uh, Also from the industrial areas that have come across us. As you said, we're surrounded. We've got a railway line in front of us. We've got Glenara Avenue, which has become a busy, busy road, a very busy road suddenly. And of
Yeah.
course, that's a road to the border of Mozambique and Malawi now,
Yeah.
part of the ring road. So we've got a lot of traffic going through us, um, and a lot of like we did range 2 nights ago. A lot of the rubbish. Sorry, I shouldn't say the litter that was left on the sides of the roads that's thrown out of vehicles because no one's enforcing the laws that stop people from doing such things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Washes in to the riverside bounding our fence. So now our rivers get clogged. So our staff go there to pick up all the little bits and pieces that won't flow down. So it's a real battle. It's something we shouldn't be doing, but we are doing because um, society or it needs education or needs I don't know what we need because I'm
Yeah.
sure
Well,
yeah, it's a hard one.
one because it involves city council doing what it's supposed to be doing. Then citizens can also do
It
what they need
does.
to do. But
It does.
but let's talk.
Carry
Let's talk
on.
and you are Mukubisi is not just. I know we're talking about the problems right now, which we will get back to, but I wanted us to talk about the good things that happen there. Mukubisi is home to the Zimbabwe Mbira Festival and Inter-Schools Mbira Festival organized by the Mbira Center. This is one of the things that I want to talk about. It's something that I focus on a lot. The tradition, music, how intertwined can be with our culture and the way we relate to the environment. Now,
Very much. Sorry, carry on.
I wanted to say, let's talk about your role as Mukuvisi, as the home of these festivals, the Mbira festivals, to begin with.
Okay. Let me give you some background. Let's talk about this. This is something that's dear on my heart a lot. Mukuvisi is an amazing area because the chieftainships were originally there. Chief Seke, Chief Mbari, they had historically, they were in that era. The Hera people were there. The, uh, the Barapata people were there. Chief Mbari was there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Hawata, Chiweshe, all those chiefs, rich history from pre 1890, and
Mm-hmm.
then Chief Chanamora was there. Uh, the river used to be called the River of Chamanuka because the prophet Chamanuka used to be there. So
Yeah.
we have an amazing
And we,
responsibility to maintain that area. And
mm,
of course, Imbira is one of the areas. They've had their festival for the last 4 years. Um, but prior to that, 1990s, 2000, 40, yeah, 20 years ago, they used to have Imbira evenings where the Imbira Association or Center then would come there and play. And then they would talk about environmental matters. This is 20 years ago already. So we have a rich history, a rich involvement with them. And even now, we want to develop that. And if it wasn't for COVID, we would have been having uh, moonrise in Bira nights that we'd select certain people to come through and enjoy the ambience of the moonrise over the platform that we have a magnificent view of, and also of listening to Mbira music, of discussing how we cannot divorce our conservation work in Zimbabwe from our cultural background, and from and I've always believed. I lived in rural areas. I worked in rural areas in Manikland for many years. For 12 years, I lived amongst the people in the rural areas there, doing missionary work, and I really believe that we cannot lose where we have come from as we cast ourselves into the future. And even with the new normal or new future that we go into, I really believe that as Zimbabweans, we need to be proud of who we are. I'm proud to be a Zimbabwean, although I don't look Zimbabwean, or people don't see me as Zimbabwean unless they get to meet me. But I'm very Zimbabwean, and I'm very, even as a Christian, I have very close connections with many people. One of my good friends is the current president of Zonata, who comes to Mukavizi often. I met him at Mukavizi. I've known his brother from Matari, and basically when we met, we really clicked. We spoke about the importance of the cultural side, and that's how he said to me, "I'm part of this here," and we've had a relationship with them, with the late Gordon Chavanduka, Dr. Chavanduka, Dr. Sabanda. So we, as a conservation area, as a nature reserve, have that link and that thing. And the Mbira Festival, I just think it's a most amazing thing to be able to capture our cultural and our natural heritage and bring that together. That to me, working with Albert is a wonderful thing for us. You know, we have a good relationship with him, and the schools competition, I'm all for, should be supported more. And just Mbira has been there long before
Yes.
anything else, and it's
Yeah.
something that we should preserve. And we're very happy as Mukavizi to be able to host these events and to promote them.
Now, what other things can people expect to see? Because not a lot of people know the inside of, and I'm talking about the good things that happen there at the Mkuvisi. What other things do you guys focus on that people can come and enjoy or do?
You know, there's so much you can do there apart from the general area. We used to be able to do picnics and braais, but because of regulations at the moment, those are temporary stopped. Those will be developed once again. We used to do weddings there, but so we're not big enough for wedding venues at this stage.
Yes.
We've got the crocodiles, the duck ponds, the tortoise areas. We start in conservation area for the blue duiker. I know it as Chimiti. It's the smallest antelope we have in Zimbabwe, the blue duiker. It's losing its habitat in the Vumba and Chimanimani areas. In fact, 2 days ago there was an appeal directly to our president from the Friends of the Vumba Trust to say, please help us preserve the Vumba Mountains because these animals are being affected. Not only the Chimiti, but the Simanga monkeys are there. So we've got 3 of them in our enclosure at the moment. They're so small. They're about the same size as a fox terrier. Okay, we've got the bigger eland. We've got the biggest antelope in Zimbabwe, the eland. We've got impala, duiker. We've got giraffe there. We've got wildebeest. We've got sable. We've got bushbuck. We've got a whole lot of other animals that come and go, wild pigs, jackals, and the bird life. Bird life is amazing. So let me give you a few stats. Don't want to bore you, but birds, we've got we've got about 230 species of bird. We work a lot with BirdLife Zimbabwe. We actually work a lot with a lot of people, wildlife, environment Zimbabwe, safari operators, the Zimbabwe Hunters Association, the Orchid Society, the Stamp people, the Astronomy Club, the Tree Society. You know, you name it, and I think we're the hub of all these activities. Those are the good things of Mukwavizi. People find campfire is situated with us as well, which is
Yeah.
the human and wildlife conflict. So there's a lot of good things. A lot of things happen in Mukwavizi that people don't see. They just go past us because it's a busy road. We've got about 230 birds. 16 of them are birds of prey.
Yeah.
Amazing. Warburg eagles. Oh, I love them. Crested eagles, so many. And we've also got what's only found in the Mashonaland Plateau is the Miambo, which is the woodlands that we are in. It's a spotted creeper. So we get people from all over. It's Africa, all over. Even the Bird Society of UK, I've met people, they're coming looking for that bird, and
Mm.
we've got it there, and our mammals, we got a lot of them. I mentioned some of them. We got plenty of them. Trees, we've got about 106 specific species of trees in our area. We've got the reptiles, we've got the fish, amphibians, we've got all that. And so we've got a basic 3 kilometer walk. You can actually walk into our woodlands in the beach of it. We've got a 3 kilometer walk, a 5 kilometer walk, and an 8 and 10 kilometer walk. And you can walk in amongst animals.
Yeah.
And you're actually in the game park. And we also have people who cycle there. We have people who come there to cycle, to run, to walk their dogs. That's very popular. Over the weekends, people come there to walk their dogs. We've got horse rides there where you can hire horses
Yeah.
and go out and get close to the animals. So there's a lot of good things at Mukwavizi, apart from the educational side, apart from the research side. We have a lot of our university students who are working on environment and all that there. A lot of the professors that we have in Jura, Midlands, you name it, all our universities have spent time at Mukwavizi doing research, maybe on the water quality, maybe on effects of air pollution, invasive species, things like that. There's so much going for it, and there's so much that even as I speak now, I'm getting excited thinking about if I can fund certain projects, I'll do so much more there. We have our own, we sell our own honey. We've got a little shop there. We sell our own honey from hives that we've got within our Mukwavizi area. So
Oh, wow.
wonderful things are happening there.
But with all this that you're doing, the question that keeps going on and on in my mind, it's an enormous program. How is it
Mm.
financed? How is it financed?
Now, firstly, we are a voluntary council. The council that I chair are made up of volunteers.
Oh, wow.
We fund ourselves from our gatekeepings, our gate takings, and that's basically our primary funding at this stage. We've had a lot of funding in the past. A lot of our buildings were funded by various embassies, like the Dutch embassy, the German embassy had a bus for us at one stage to help us
Mhm,
with the outreach program to the schools many years
mhm.
ago. Unfortunately, as you know, things the last 10 years or so have really battered. The economy has really battered sort of operations like we have. So we are looking for a lot of funding now to re-establish ourselves as an educational center, as an outreach center, as a center where we can, uh, 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 how can you say, that we can transform people's thinking about picking up litter, looking after water,
Yeah.
harvesting water. The wetlands are being, there's so much. At the moment, this week, we're demolishing houses all over. Donnybrook area, Bidariro, uh, all sorts of areas that suddenly now people are waking up, or the authorities are waking up to the fact that some of these houses are built on wetlands. Let's remove them. Let's preserve the wetlands. Um,
Mhm.
so the educational side, we work a lot for Harari Wetland Trust. I do so personally, and a lot of other areas, Bigwiro, Maputo. Um, but as Mukwavizi itself, we just rely on our gatekeeping, that great gate takings, which is
Yeah.
$3 for an adult and $2 for a child. So you can see we pegged our fees to make it affordable to as many people as possible to enjoy our facilities,
Yeah.
to learn
Is
about the
that
environment.
3 US or 3 bond?
$3 US.
I just have to make sure.
You have to make sure.
Now,
so
go ahead.
yeah, so we trying to provide a service, and certainly we have a lot of things that happen, a lot of support from a lot of the societies. We have the annual Rhino run, which was all online these days. You know, we do our virtual runs, but we normally had the Rhino run, which was very popular. We have all sorts of other events that are happening, and bike rides and things. So basically, we host a lot of churches. We used to until the regulations came in. So as they release themselves, we probably get more church functions. We have a lot of more or less in like partners. Like we have a Power of Touch who are reaching out to senior citizens.
Okay, Ken, I think we frozen in a minute. We can go for a commercial break and try to reach out back to. Yeah. Welcome back. Yeah, we just lost our guest due to network. This is what happens when you do our live streams. Network can be a problem in Zimbabwe, but regardless, we were having a very, very, very amazing conversation about our environment, and a lot of people don't know about this Mukuvisi woodlands area where it's just as beautiful as any other place. As a park, as a game park, there are a lot of different animals that are right in the middle of Harare. People don't have to go far to catch a break. There's also the role that they play in trying to with the environment, because we have a problem. We are worried about the rains, but we don't understand how the trees are involved in how our rains are never reliable anymore. It's part of all that. You see people cutting trees willingly, and to me and to most of us, we seem to think that there is nothing happening, but there is something that is happening, but it needs us as citizens. It needs a buy-in from us as citizens. I come from Mondoro, and I was going to ask and talk to Ken about this, because he's also involved in environmental preservation in the country. Mondoro is a disaster. When we talk about trees being cut everywhere, and then we have gullies that have been formulating for over years, and people just watch these gullies and you wonder what the result end will be. But it was nice having a conversation with Ken. We are trying to see if we can come back. Probably it could be the electricity is gone, and that usually just happens. Electricity is gone, and there's no warning to it, and boom. That could absolutely be the problem. But while we trying to get Ken back, I'm just gonna do something. We were talking about. I wish I had one of these videos from Kuvisi where you can see the festival that Albert Chimedza does, and I'm probably just going to pick one of the videos from Mbira, and we can just listen to the Mbira music a little bit. But it would have been beautiful to see Hi there. So we had a technical difficulty. We cannot at the moment connect back with Pastor Ken, Perry, Chang, but there is a lot that we still need to talk about. And what we are going to do is end this show right now, and then we'll try to bring him back again to the show and see if we can reconnect and finish up our conversation, because there's a lot that we hadn't even started talking that we needed to talk about. But anyway, it's we have 9 minutes left to the show, and we normally do an hour. It is only appropriate that we wrap it up, and we will be back next week with another guest. But we'll try to get Ken to come back to the show. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you much for being part of the show. We'll see you next week.
Nematombo, Nondo, Mr. Playboy, Stunner, Batai Hana, Batai Hana, Batai Hana, Batai Hana. Wenda mberi, museamwa, otiziva, moyo nishu, matema hiva, mwenisoko, mokuye mukono, sinyoro shumba. Esai kushura baba, aiwa uko makata, fasha wedu apasa, sika usati warasa, bidza waka chonjoma, pamsora iba na mama, gashirambe wazama, sika kunyora sama, gatsimbise ukama, musaputse sasanda, une wako nkazana, mungwe chete pasana, piti kanana, mwenda mberi pachana, natsiva tasangana, seha matawanana, takapira kare kushitaura, ngati chengete yitika zedu zechivan, waka uya waka zishora, wona ndasa tese serevan, uya nehanda nakakuvi chidzoka nasu